What are three things I learned in 3 years of training in a Zen monastery? The first one would be there is no such thing as failure. The only failure is if you give up, if you stop, if you quit. As long as you're making any progress, even just an inch, you're successful, you're succeeding. In the 3 years when I was training here, it's a very tough, rough lifestyle. Your body is completely exhausted every day, mentally also exhausted. Your superiors are always yelling at you. You're always in trouble. It seems like no matter what you do, you can never get it right. And every year, there was a point where I wanted to give up, where I wanted to just pack it all up and run away in the middle of the night. But I didn't. I put that aside and I said, okay, just one more day. Just keep going. And eventually, you'll push through and you'll make it. And that's success. Tough times will pass, but you can keep going, and that is success. 2, you're not an island. In the monastery, we are reliant on a lot of different people for support and help. All the food we eat comes from the villagers who live around the temple. They bring us rice, vegetables, and we don't do any shopping. So whatever we have is what we eat. Because of their support, we are able to continue this training and have healthy bodies that support us through this rigorous training. And, they're reliant on other things too, like the weather to grow those vegetables, enough water, the soil, people who built the tractors, people who get the gas out of or the oil out of the ground and turn it into gas. This all of reality is a very intricate, intertangled web of connection. And a lot of us think like, I can do it myself. I don't need anybody's help. And part of maturity is kind of putting that aside. It's okay to receive help. It's okay to be reliant on others. And in fact, no matter how self-reliant you think you are, if you look at things closely, you can't even live this modern life without all the people who brought these gizmos and gadgets to you. Even the raw materials, somebody is going out and getting it all. Even if you go into the middle of the mountains and do it all yourself, there's just some things that you need some help with. And that might not be from other people, that might be from Mother Nature, that might be from inanimate objects, but they are supporting you and you are supporting them, whether you realize it or not. So we're all connected and it's okay to ask for help. Number 3, don't suffer twice. So we all have these difficult things that we must experience, traumas, tribulations. Maybe it's just daily work or relationships that are difficult, and they're painful. We suffer them. But then, before leading up to this encounter or experience, or maybe after this encounter or experience, we're still suffering. It's over, or it hasn't happened yet. We're not in the act of suffering it, yet we're still suffering it mentally. We think that it's this terrible thing, and sometimes our mental image of the experience can be much worse than the actual experience itself. So don't suffer it twice. You already suffered it once. That's enough. Let it go. Don't give it your time or attention anymore. Process it, recycle it, and let it go. Catch and release. And then even the first suffering might not even be that bad either. If in the monastery, we're doing terrible hard things all the time. And I thought, especially my first year, oh, this is awful. How does anyone even keep this up? Why does anyone even stay here? But as you go on, you realize that that's just your perspective. That's your opinion. It's not necessarily terrible or not terrible. So if you can just experience these terrible things as just things, you might even find yourself enjoying or reveling in these terrible experiences. Oftentimes, later in my training experience, those things that I first saw as terrible, awful, I don't want anything to do with it, I found myself, smiling while I was doing that. Isn't that kind of this interesting experience that your relationship can change with someone or something just based on how you view that? So don't suffer it once, don't suffer it twice. Enjoy the ride.